Hello, my curious little night owls. It's Luna, your guide through the shadows, here with another tale that will tickle your imagination and maybe even send a shiver down your spine. Tell me, have you ever thought about what it feels like to be hunted? To have eyes watching you, steps following you, and nowhere to hide. Tonight's story is about two boys who loved to chase, capture, and torment the creatures of the wild, but they never thought about what it felt like on the other side. Until one night, when the tables turned. I call this story The Hunter's Curse. The Hunter's Curse. Jack and Ryan were best friends, and they shared one big hobby: hunting. Not real hunting with rifles or bows, but their own brand of cruel games. Armed with slingshots, nets, and cages, they would sneak into the woods every weekend. Birds, squirrels, frogs, even bugs. Nothing was safe from their tricks. Jack laughed every time he struck a bird with a pebble, and Ryan liked to keep frogs in jars, shaking them to hear them croak in distress. They didn't see themselves as mean. They thought it was fun. One Saturday afternoon, when the sky was painted gold and the forest hummed with life, the two boys headed deeper than usual into the woods. Jack held his slingshot ready, and Ryan carried a net. "Bet I can hit a crow before you can catch a rabbit," Jack bragged. "You're on," Ryan smirked. But as they crept deeper, the woods grew strangely silent. No chirping, no rustling, not even the buzz of insects. The boys exchanged a look. "Where'd they all go?" Ryan whispered. Jack shrugged, trying to look brave. "Scared of us, maybe?" They laughed, but uneasily. Suddenly, a thick mist curled around the trees. The sunlight dimmed as though the forest itself had pulled a blanket over the sky. The boys kept walking, but every path seemed unfamiliar. Then came the sound, soft, steady, deliberate. Footsteps, but not theirs. "Who's there?" Jack called out, his voice cracking slightly. No answer. Only the sound of something circling them. From the mist, a pair of glowing yellow eyes appeared. A massive black wolf stepped out, its fur bristling and teeth glinting. Ryan gasped. "Run!" The boys bolted, crashing through the undergrowth. Behind them, the wolf growled, paws pounding the earth. Their lungs burned, hearts hammering like drums. For the first time in their lives, they knew what it was like to be prey. They stumbled into a clearing, where the mist seemed even thicker. But the wolf was gone. Relief washed over them, until they realized the clearing wasn't empty. Above them, dozens of birds perched in the trees. But these weren't ordinary birds. Their eyes gleamed red, and their wings stretched wider than any eagle's. One screeched, and the flock took flight, swooping toward the boys like a storm of feathers and claws. Jack threw up his arms to protect his face as talons slashed the air. Ryan screamed as a beak tugged at his cap, ripping it away. The boys ran again, tripping over roots, ducking under branches, chased relentlessly. "Why is this happening?" Ryan cried. "I don't know," Jack yelled back. At last, they burst into a strange glade. At its center stood a towering stone statue of a hunter. The figure was carved holding a bow, but instead of a proud expression, its face was twisted in pain. Its eyes seemed to follow them. Etched into the stone were words they could barely read. "The hunter becomes the hunted, until mercy is learned." Before they could make sense of it, the ground beneath them trembled. Cracks split the earth, and from the shadows rose enormous insects, beetles the size of dogs, centipedes with snapping jaws, spiders with eyes like lanterns. The boys screamed, scrambling backward, but the creatures surrounded them. Each insect advanced slowly, clicking and hissing as if savouring the terror. Jack grabbed a stick and swung it wildly. "Stay back!" Ryan threw rocks, but the insects kept coming. Their small weapons were useless. Out of nowhere, the black wolf returned, padding silently into the circle of monsters. The insects froze and backed away, as if bowing to a king. The wolf fixed its glowing eyes on the boys. "You tormented them," the wolf's voice rumbled, not through its mouth, but inside their minds. "Now you will know their suffering." Jack fell to his knees, trembling. "We didn't mean—" "Yes, you did," the wolf growled. "You thought only of your power." Never of their pain, Ryan clutched his head. "Please, don't eat us." The wolf's eyes softened just slightly. "I will not devour you, if you learn. If you change." The mist thickened, swirling around them like a storm. The last thing they heard was the wolf's low growl. "Remember what it feels like to be hunted." The boys jolted awake, lying on the forest floor near their hometown path. Sunlight streamed gently through the trees. The birds sang again, and a squirrel darted up a trunk. Everything was normal, except for the scratches on their arms and the torn clothes that proved it wasn't just a dream. Jack and Ryan looked at each other. Their faces were pale, their eyes wide. They walked home in silence. The next weekend, instead of grabbing slingshots and nets, they brought seeds and nuts. They scattered food for the squirrels and left water dishes for the birds. Jack even built a small wooden birdhouse with his dad's help. "Think they'll forgive us?" Ryan asked quietly. Jack looked at the trees. For a moment, he thought he saw flash of yellow eyes watching from the shadows. He shivered, then nodded. "I hope so." From that day on, the boys never hunted for fun again. Instead, they protected the animals of the forest, carrying with them the memory of being prey. And so Jack and Ryan learned the lesson that many forget. Every living creature values its life just as we value ours. To harm without thought is to invite the shadows to turn against you. Remember, my little listeners, mercy is a stronger weapon than any slingshot or net. Next time you see a small creature, show kindness. You never know when the forest might decide to return the favour. Respect all creatures, big and small. What you do to them could one day be done to you. Until we meet again, keep your eyes open, your heart kind, and your imagination sharp. This has been Luna, wishing you sweet, spooky dreams.